Hello and welcome to me talking about Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Alright, so I wanted to talk today, one day after, about unused items, or unused levels, items, content in general, because we read that they were using cut content. Going to be implementing some of it. So I'd like to take a look at what could possibly be in the game, and more than likely some of this will be. Not all of it, but more than likely a good chunk of this will be. So from the sounds of it, they're going to implement up quite a bit. Anyways, let's jump right in. Alright, so I think everyone can get on board with the robot Squidward. So I think in general, most people know about the robot Squidward boss. Just because of the concept art and whatnot. But I hope that we see, because we did see Robot Squidward as a boss in Truth or Square, but it was, well, interesting to say the least. It could have been a little bit better. And from the concept art we've seen, from the original game, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a lot better. I mean, let's just look at this. Alright, so this is the robot Squidward. So it looks like what you have to do is jump over each tentacle. And, well, alright, sorry, I gotta point out these bags at the top. It's like looking really weird. You got this ooze. This yellow ooze is dripping. Alright. Anyways, it's kind of weird. So it looks like one of his arms is damaged, but some kind of white foam or something. Anyways, so you gotta jump over his arms or go underneath them. I guess they do ground slam attacks or sweeping attacks. And then you have to either maybe hit his hand, the tentacle, and then maybe that'll create platforms so that way you can hit the button to destroy the tentacle. And then maybe to damage him as a core, you actually have to use a bubble bowl and then hit him in the head. Or just hit him in the head. But my guess is when he's shooting at you, you might be able to hit him in the head with a bubble bowl as well. There's a lot of options they could take with this fight. It's an interesting boss look though. They had another one where Robot Squidward is shooting Krabby Patties. Or jelly or something out of his mouth. So this is probably his final stage. So like most boss fights have 3 parts to them, and in this game they do. So like Robot Sandy had 3 parts, Robot Patrick, Robot SpongeBob. I think almost every boss has 3 parts, so this is probably like you defeat his tentacles and then his head just flies around shooting pies? Maybe that's a pie? I don't know. What if that is a pie and they explode like the Exploding Pies episode? Oh, freaking, that would be, okay, that would be awesome. Another one that I'm really looking forward to, hopefully they include this in, would be Glove World, man. Just imagine Glove World. You go in it, like maybe that could be connected to Rock Bottom and somehow, I don't know how it could. Or maybe it's just a side level, but oh man, going to Glove World. I mean, they had that one concept art of you like going on, like, looks like a theme park, kind of like the Valentine's Day episode, if you remember that. Like you could kind of base it on that. Oh man, that would be so cool. Yeah, and then they had a peanut butter antidote in Kelp Forest. I'm not sure what that one is about. But it looks like it would be for a quest or something. Alright, so next up, looks like Rock Bottom, I'm thinking. But you got some sort of anglerfish. So maybe like a different enemy variant. But another thing that you see is SpongeBob in the mermaid man costume. And maybe potentially we could see an alternate skin, right? Like, I don't know how they could put them in there, but maybe instead of Mr. Krabs selling just golden spatulas, they could have them sell you alternate skins, so you use shiny objects to buy skins, or unlock them or find them through the level or something like that. Alright, so up next is Patrick's dream level. So I think this one was pretty well known. Same with Robot Squidwards. And as you can see, there's a lot of candy and ice cream. And stuff to do related to that. And that would make sense for Patrick, because, you know, he loves junk food. And honestly, it really reminds me of the Goofy Goober level from SpongeBob the movie. And so one thing I hope they keep is the original dream level. Just either at the start or the end. I loved just going... It was kind of a reference to the TV show, that episode with the seahorse. And it was pretty cool going in there, and you're like... You know, you go from one direction and you end up back right where you started. But overall, I think seeing the ice cream level would be pretty stinking awesome. Like banana splits and stuff, and maybe a variant, like just having unique dialogue for Patrick. Yeah, that would be cool to see. And so up next is the third most well-known one, I would say. Muscle Bob, square anchor arm pants. So this one is kind of creepy looking, in a sense. Just the way his arms move and the way that they look when they're deflated. It's kind of disturbing. When they're all like buffed up, normally it looks, you know, normal. But so I think part of it was like the human skin color. I think they should have went with the red from the show, where you had, you know, it was red, the red inflatable arm. Also, I'm guessing that they would do this after the karate fight, or however you say that. So I think it would be like the second, so after you fight Karate SpongeBob, then you'd face Muscle Bob, and then you'd face destroy Plankton and the SpongeBob robot. So I mean, honestly, the people behind this game look like they know what they're doing with the screenshots we've seen. So, you know, a funny one is a soccer ball that appears in Goo Lagoon for some reason. I don't think we'll see that. I think this was instead of the watermelon, so I don't think we're gonna see that. It was instead of the freezy fruit, watermelon, whatever you want to call it. So there is quite a bit to go through here. Alright, so unused models. So there's a Sunday Smelly, and I could definitely see this making an appearance. So essentially this is from the episode Something Smells, you know, with the breath. SpongeBob's Sunday, and you know, the breath just like starts frying people alive because it's so bad. And that's the one where he says, "I'm ugly and I'm proud." That's a good line. But apparently it was intended to be a power-up. I'm not sure how, but maybe let's see. Okay, here it says, by using a hex editor you can turn the underwear health into a trigger for the Smelly Sunday. The Sunday allows SpongeBob and Patrick, while leaving behind a trail of rancid breath, to run faster and destroy stone tikis with a basic attack, lasting about 10 seconds. It was probably removed for being slightly overpowered. Strangely, the Xbox version has a higher resolution texture for the model than the others. And what they have under it is, guess what, Squidward, we stink. Oh man, and I'll have a link to where you can find all this in the description, just so if you wanted to follow along. I'll say it as well, it's tcrf.net, and then you're looking for SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom for the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. Alright, next item was Worm Blind. So a textureless model of of a worm, most likely Mr. Krabs' worm from the episode As Seen on TV, found on Shady Shoals. There are 4 animation files for it, 2 idle animations, an attacked animation, and a walking animation. So I'm not really sure what that would do. I think it's like Mr. Krabs' dog. I think that's what it was for. So maybe it was supposed to be like, because you know how the worms are like dogs in the show. So maybe we'll see kind of an Easter egg of that, or maybe we'll see a dog and something like a worm dog or whatever there. Might see that potential. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, sorry. They're called anchor arms, not rubber arms for SpongeBob. Beach fish. So there were 2 more variants of fish that look like. I'm sure we're gonna see a lot more variants between. They're probably gonna add their own twist on fishes in general, like maybe giving them different clothing for their area. Because I think most of them. Some of them are wearing different items, but most wear the same type of clothing. I think in Snow Mountain they are wearing hats and snow outfits and whatever. Let's see. Just some other objects here. A shiny object donation box. The final game uses clams for shiny objects. I don't know if we'll see that. 2 shelves meant to be seen in SpongeBob's kitchen. Ah, yes. Alright. So this was actually pretty interesting. So apparently, SpongeBob's kitchen was actually appeared in the game. It's an inaccessible room, but I think we might see the Krusty Krab being expanded a bit more. So maybe potentially seeing the bathroom. Don't know if we'll see that, but I would almost think there's a good chance that we're gonna see inside of SpongeBob's kitchen. So if we do, that would be freaking awesome. And maybe inside Mr. Krabs' office. And who knows, if you go inside the Krusty Krab, maybe they'll have Mr. Krabs behind his desk. Maybe give you, just talk to you, just give you a one-liner or something. So I'm gonna go back through the concept art. We have Sandy's tree dome, where it looks a lot more luscious and vibrant in these colors and bugs and stuff. And it looks like you would jump up as SpongeBob, up each post and like be able to go inside her tree dome. That could be something that we might actually be able to do that. So it might not just be running around in her tree dome. There's another concept art where there's a little bit more to do on Sand Mountain, so maybe it'll actually be platforming instead of sliding down. So maybe there might be a 4th one where like a 4th area you go to and you'll actually be able to platform around. Doubtful, but I mean there's something for it. Skipping over Rock Bottom. That's maybe we'll see more houses in Rock Bottom. I mean, overall, I thought Rock Bottom was pretty well done, because I think you only see it ever in 1 episode, which was like Club World, I think. And they had the chocolate reference, you know, where from the show where he goes to get the chocolate and then a bus drives by, and it was the same thing. So maybe they'll actually add some dialogue or something to that. So this is interesting. For an enemy type, they have a fish in robot armor. Maybe that's like a fan of the robots. And maybe they'll add an NPC like that who likes the robots or something and wants to be like one. But then you also have ones that look like they're fish robots. I'm doubting we're gonna see any enemies like that. I think they want to keep the enemies more robotic. I really like the one robot here, the sleepy time robot. As a kid, I had a lot of trouble getting past this guy, but you know what, it makes you use the ability, because he even deflects your bubble bowls. It makes you actually sneak up on him. When I was doing my first long play of this game, I actually had him. My controller was like messed up, and so it was really hard for me to like try and slowly move because like the control stick was just all messed up. So I got a new controller shortly, like a month or two after that. But yeah, it was kind of brutal trying to use like a slightly broken control stick while you're, you know, because I almost would always make me run. Anyways, so now the next robot we have is a different robot. So it's one where he's flying with a propeller and he's got some kind of UFO looking hat on and two little claws that maybe, I don't know, zaps you or hits you or something. This is a robot that we could see, a different enemy type. I don't know how he would attack you. The only thing I can guess is maybe, I don't know, he looks like he's flying, so he could hover too. He might be like, oh, he's got a propeller. You know what, he might have been another enemy that was in the air. So maybe he would be flying above your head. I don't know. There's a lot of speculation that could go around that. They might not even use that type of robot, who knows. Then you have the glove one, whatever you call him. I forget his name. He spins around, slaps you. I like that robot. He's annoying in the face when you're surrounded by enemies though. Tartar, that's a good robot. You know, 2 hits and it feels, when you hit him once he goes flying and then he's still shooting at you, and I really like that enemy design. Hammer, I didn't get that one until I was actually an adult, where they hammer. I get it. Yeah, that always flew over my head as a kid. And that's actually really clever. I like that enemy design. He looks angry and he's just ready to hit you. So then we have another interesting enemy type where it's kind of a take on the hammer bot, but it's like a small fish where it looks like it would be a cutscene where SpongeBob's like, this doesn't look harmful, and then it's this little flying fish that whips out this hammer. So I don't know if we'll see that enemy because the hammer bot is already like that, unless they changed it up. But I don't know how they would change it. But maybe we'll see that little enemy type. It's kind of cute looking. Next place looks like kelp forest with a bunch of dead fish shells. That's kind of brutal. We have kelp forest again with lots of clams. We have jellyfish rock where SpongeBob's jellyfishing and Patrick's hauling a guy that looks like it's the one inspector, the health inspector. You have in the next one in Goo Lagoon, it looks like SpongeBob's blowing bubbles, like it's another move where SpongeBob blows bubbles and the bubbles go up, and instead it's like these swarms of flies. So maybe, I don't know if those will be in the game. That would be weird. So the next two are from the Flying Dutchman's Graveyard. This is just early concept art. But what I really like about the second picture is this flying ghost chasing you, looking like it's one of Flying Dutchman's ghouls. So that would be interesting to see. Like just a different, like a kind of, since you're in the Flying Dutchman's lair, it would be interesting to see a minion of his or something, or a couple of his minions. Maybe facing the robots or something. Maybe we'll see something like that. Next we got some grandpa in a wheelchair chasing people down for some reason. I think because I don't know why, he got angry. I don't know how that would fit in the game. Alright, this one's really interesting. You have a Godzilla looking type robot that's just stomping on people. The only way I could see this being a thing is in downtown Bikini Bottom, where it looks like it takes place, but is something like an Easter egg in the background, because I don't know how you would go up against, unless there was a boss for the area. Maybe they add that as a boss, but you don't want too many bosses. Maybe it'd be a mini boss, kind of like the King Jellyfish. Could be something like that. Yeah. Alright, so then we have SpongeBob as a caveman where his skull fell out and he's looking at it. He has a banana and he fell on it and he has a bone in his hand. So I mean, overall, there's a lot of stuff that I've covered here that could potentially be in this game, but it's hard to say how much of it will be in the game. Alright, so here is some unused animations. So we have Squidward walking around, so that could be something we see, like NPCs actually walking, because in the game, NPCs don't actually move, like actually walk around, they just stand idle. And so you go up to them and you hit them and they'll do a little animation, but I don't think you ever see anyone walking around other than enemies and yourself, whether you're SpongeBob, Patrick, or Sandy. So they have one with Squidward walking around. They have one where Mrs. Puff is intended to run away from something, or possibly another driving test with SpongeBob. They have one with Gary. Whoa, Gary's one looks cool too. It's like slowly like slithering away kind of, but not slithering, but you know how, kind of like a little jump. Whoa, Bubble Buddy has a walking animation. He has different idle animations too. They have Mr. Krabs where he's fast walking. Larry swinging his arms and walking. Living like Larry. Mermaid Man slowly walking. Mermaid Man running away from something. I think he did run away. Maybe in a cutscene. I'm not sure. Barnacle Boy walking. Plankton walking normally. Sandy, damaged as an NPC, so when you hit her probably. The Mime Fish, so I think you only ever see the Mime Fish inside the Krusty Krab when he's just doing it on the window looking at you. Yeah, that's pretty much it, but that is something we could potentially be seeing as NPCs. Like, I know that sounds small, but it gives it a little bit more life to the game, seeing an NPC just kind of walking around, you know? Maybe it has its own place where it's walking around, but instead of just standing there, because you know when you get close to them, they just sort of slowly follow you. Like their eyes and their bodies just follow you. So it would be nice to see like them just walk around and then you run up and, hey, I have a question, or you just wanted to talk. So going into unused audio. So SpongeBob. Watch the tentacles, ouch. So maybe that was a line when he's facing Squidward. Robot Squidward. A giant Sandy robot, I'm doomed. This is actually pretty cool.
A giant Sandy robot, I'm doomed.
Wow, so this is what they sound like.
That's the biggest Sandy I've ever seen, except when she was hibernating. He's only big if you think he is.
You're just a bag full of jelly.
No. No.
These are the unused and used.
Don't ask questions you aren't prepared to handle the answers to.
Alright, and here's the used.
Don't ask questions you aren't prepared to handle the answer to.
Oh man. Squidward.
Ow! 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 Go away, Patrick. I'm waiting for SpongeBob. I can't believe I just said that.
SpongeBob to mission control, the launch is a go. SpongeBob to mission control, the launch is a go.
Oh my goodness, the difference between those. Holy smokes.
SpongeBob to mission control, the launch is a go.
Yeah, that's way better. Alright, so we got unused text next. Whoa. Okay. So this is alright, so an unused text, there's this evil Bubble Buddy. So it says, in the hub world, Bubble Buddy has dialogue likely written by a bored programmer. Welcome to my nightmare. Hi the hench, though, spongy freak. Well done, SpongeBob. Now die. Holy crap. That's SpongeBob failure text. What about get out of here? Didn't you understand? I said beat it. Thanks for leaving me alone. Repeat as needed. Wow, that would be evil bubble buddy text. That'd be interesting to see an evil bubble buddy. Alright. So that's pretty much everything I've found. So just to sum everything up here, I think for number one is Robot Squidward, and I think we may see another 2 to 3 type boss fights. So whether that be a robot version of a different character, like maybe Mr. Krabs, as maybe Mr. Krabs as a robot, but kind of like a lame robot that you face or something, because Plankton obviously doesn't like Mr. Krabs. And maybe just another boss for an area, like kind of like how King Jellyfish was. I mean, it wasn't really it wasn't a robot that you were facing, so it was just the jellyfish, so maybe something like that. What also would be cool is to see Kevin the sea cucumber, just seeing him get zapped or something. That would be cool. Oh yeah, and I guess Flying Dutchman, he wasn't so yeah, they could do someone else like that, someone who was evil to the evil in the show, I guess. And then for levels, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see something to do with Patrick's Dream, an ice cream level or something like that. Like an add-on. Well, I guess they'll completely redesign it. But I hope that they still stay true to what they were, like to the original, kind of just have that as an Easter egg or something, or just at the start of the level or at the end, just to throw it in there just for us. Fix Kelp Forest. We don't want. Just make it brighter and easier to navigate. And I have no doubt that they'll fix that. I think Kelp Forest was like everyone's. I really like the music, but that caveman and Kelp Forest itself, it's just not that fun to go to. It's just kind of the one you kind of dread. It's like the Blight Town of like in Dark Souls. So, trying to think if I'm missing anything here. I mean, NPCs walking around, that would be cool to see. Maybe add a few more characters here or there. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think we're gonna see a lot of good in this game. And sorry, the last one was costumes. Costumes fit in somehow, and maybe even Sandy's Tree Dome expanded a bit. And yeah, I think that's all I got. That was a long time that I was talking for. So hopefully we'll see something like that pop up, because I'd love for any kind of changes to the game, making it longer, making it just changing. I don't care if they change spatula locations for difficulty wise. I don't care about that. I mean, most of the people that are going to be playing this game are going to be teenagers to adults compared to when they were kids, so people buying this game now are buying it probably for themselves, because people watching SpongeBob nowadays, I guess it's for kids too, but whatever. Oh, and last thing was, and Prawn. See, I knew I was missing a couple. Prawn as well. You could have Man Ray and Dirty Bubble. No, they wouldn't have that in. That'd be cool to see. I'd love to see Man Ray in a game, and another game, especially in a remastered game. Man Ray and Dirty Bubble, as like a combo or something. Oh, that'd be awesome to see. Anyways, I've been talking way too long here. I think most people left after 2 minutes. So, yeah, I guess what other way to end it than having Plankton, say his few words. But anyway, see you guys, and thank you so much for watching. And this was actually fun to make, so give me a chance to speculate, and hopefully, you know, some of you guys might have ideas too on what they might do or what you'd like to see. So just let me know. Let everyone else know in the comments. And see you guys later.
I'll bet you made all these robots. And after I get inside the chum bucket and figure out how to stop them, I'm gonna tell everyone.
Fine, tell everyone. Be a big tattletale. I'm still smarter than all of you. Maybe this day won't be mine. Or the next. Or possibly even the next. Or 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 the next after that. But the one after the next. After the next. After the next. After that. Well, that one after that. Right next to that one. That will be my day.